Hey Aries, so we're going to start off with you, the Big Daddy, the Emperor of the Zodiac. This reading is going to be for Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. From September 15th, 2019 to September 30th, 2019. So because we're just starting, I really don't know like what spread we're going to use, whether or not we're going to separate love and finances. So for right now, what we'll do is we'll just do both. We'll go ahead and look into the love aspect of your life, and then we'll go ahead and look at finances and career and see what other messages Spirit has for us today, okay? So, Aries Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. If you don't know what your Moon, Rising, Venus signs are, you can find out. You can go to, I think it's cafe.com. I don't know, put free birth charts inside of your Google engine or your search engine, and you can put some information and get that. If you don't know your time of birth, you won't be able to get an accurate rising sign, but I believe it's like between two different signs, right? So you can put a time in the day and a time in the night on it, and it will give you one sign, and then for night it'll give you another. And if you kind of just read through it, you'll probably find which one resonates with you to find out your rising sign. Okay, Aries. Let's start off with love first. So 3 more shuffles. And I'm sorry that you guys can't see the shuffling. Like I said, we're still setting up as far as scenery is concerned. I really didn't want to wait for aesthetics to go ahead and do the reading, so that's why it's like this. So just bear with us, please. Wow, that was really quick. I didn't ask for anything, so I'm not going to take it. But the card that did come out was Passion. So let's just see. Okay, Spirit. What is the mutual energy between Aries and their love interest? Romantic love. Jeez, Aries, those cards shot out. Those are a lot of cards. Too many for me to take. Okay. Romantic love for Aries for the remainder of September 2019. Okay, we have a flipper. So we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And at the bottom of the deck, we have give your relationship a chance. So that's pretty cool, Aries. Okay, so there may be some hardships going on right now in your romantic relationship. It may be a time when people are thinking about letting go. And Spirit is urging you to stay positive. Perhaps there are ways that you can work on your partnership, incorporating a date night, having better communication, maybe finally resolving things that have been sitting stagnant, uh, passive aggressive behavior, uh, reigniting the passion maybe in your relationship. So right now it might be a bit of a trying time for romantic relationships, but you're definitely being urged to go ahead and be positive, um, and make the effort to give the relationship a chance if you already are in one. And if you're single and seeking to be in a relationship, I think that is definitely asking for you to hold a positive vibration. Be that partner that you want to attract, and be open to receiving love, because a lot of times we ask for things, and then when it comes to us, we are not open to receiving it because we're holding on to so many other things from the past. So let's see, for those in a relationship, what's the mutual energy between Aries and their person? For those in a committed relationship, what is the mutual energy between Aries and their person? Mutual energy between Aries and their person from now until the end of September 2019, please. Oh, I hope y'all didn't hear that. My stomach just growled so loud. Okay. What's the mutual energy? Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. This is a beautiful card, right? Well, love yourself first. So, Aries, it looks like your love relationship is going pretty good. If you're in a couple, you guys are having the feels toward each other. With love yourself at the bottom of the deck. To me, that seems like a very healthy relationship. One where people are understanding that their self-respect makes them more attractive, understanding that their partner is a reflection of themselves. And so it seems pretty good so far, Aries couples. Let's see. Let's get a clarifier for romantic feelings. Clarify romantic feelings for Aries. That's pretty fast. Acceptance. Right. So with love yourself first, and acceptance at the bottom of the deck. I mean, acceptance coming out on the chakra cards. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the bottom of the deck here, and it's the impatience card, which is the blue chakra. Um, so everything was really looking good, and now I'm like, wait a minute, what? Just because of this impatience card here. Um, okay, Aries. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling like things are going well. With this impatience at the bottom of the deck, and acceptance, I'm kind of feeling like there's a need for you to keep steady almost. Like, whether it's rushing too far ahead because your feelings are so intense in an emotional way, or whether it is, being too quick to speak. Oh my God, my stomach is really growling. Whether it's being too quick to speak, I think your relationship is really good, but it's just calling for, I believe, some temperance on your part. I'm seeing a temperance card in my mind. Just some temperance. Make sure that things continue to kind of be even keel. Don't rush along anything too much. Even if you've been in a relationship for 5, 6, 7 years, I'm not saying rush a commitment. I'm saying just the steps that you guys are taking, the things that you guys are saying to each other. Because like I said, this may be a time when things, even though the romantic feelings are there, you do love each other, you do know that, things may be just a bit trying right now. And it's important for you to be optimistic. It's important for you to be patient with yourself and your partner at this time, okay, Aries? And above all else, excuse me, make sure you love yourself first, because that vibration will carry on into your partner and into your relationship, and it will raise the vibration for you both. Jesus. Aries, be careful with your talking. Be careful with what you say out of your mouth. Be very patient. Just because a thought comes to your head doesn't mean it has to come out your mouth. I'm feeling pulls to say that. But not Aries being impulsive with the shit that come out their mouth. Oh, no way. Couldn't be that. Girl, I'm so hungry, but I want to finish this. I feel like you may like read better, connect with spirit better when your stomach is not full. That's how I feel. So I'll probably just stay hungry until the end of the reading, and then I'll eat. Okay, what chakra card? I didn't ask yet fully, but this card fell out in security. Excuse me, imperfection. Is at the bottom of the deck. So with that impatience and that love yourself first and stay optimistic, um, before I even continue to shuffle, I just want to you know, bring awareness to the fact that, of course, at times there are things that our partners are doing that trigger something within us. And then there's other times that it's just residue from old situations that we bring in with us that may make us feel insecure or unsafe in some way within our relationships. And that can cause, a bit of discontent or put a cut in the bond, right? So we want to be careful that we are actively healing or healed from past situations as we are in new ones, and also that self-love is primary, right? Because somebody can love you from the moon to the stars to the galaxy and back. It's not going to resonate with you. You're not going to be able to receive it if you have not first learned to love yourself. Okay, so for Aries couples, for the rest of September 2019, what's the best chakra card advice? Okay. It's a flipper. It is. Okay. We have grief. I hope the glare is not too bad. We have wisdom. We have perception. And we have soulmate. So, and we have victim at the bottom of the deck. So what I really want to bring attention to is the fact that 3 or 4, including the card that's at the bottom of the deck, 4 out of the 5 cards that you pulled are heart chakra cards. And so I kind of understand now why I was led to say that whole spiel about insecurity and loving yourself first. Um, there might be some things that you need to let go of, Aries, be it something that happened in this partnership or something that happened prior to. It's important that you stay positive. We've already spoke about that aspect of it. But with grief, wisdom, and perception here, and even victim here, right? It's important that you not only heal from the past, but the first step to even doing that is understanding what happened. So when we understand things that happened in our past as something that happened to us, right? Life is happening to us. Someone did this to us. It's very difficult to come into a place of feeling empowered, right? Because if someone did it to you, then it means that you were vulnerable. It means that that person somehow holds more power over your life than you do because they were able to implement this huge force onto you that you were helpless to control. But when we realize that we make decisions to get us to certain places and to get us certain results, and we understand that even inaction or indecision or not making a decision is a decision within itself, then we can regain our responsibility in it. When we see our own responsibility in it, then we take on accountability for what we could have done differently, right? And in that, we empower ourselves to be able to make better choices in the future. Right? So it's important that even if the grief that you're suffering or the negative thoughts or low vibration that you may be holding right now is attached to the person that you're currently with, that you still see that they're a mere reflection of you, right? So what they did may have triggered something in you. Let's say infidelity, for instance. Let's say that you're with someone who was unfaithful to you and you've decided to go along and try to repair the situation afterwards, right? So first, there would be a need for you to understand what percent. Well, you know what? This is the first one that came out, so let's start here, right? There would be a need for grief to take place in order for you to let go of the pain that was already caused to you. Whatever it was, it doesn't have to be infidelity. It doesn't have to be the person that you are with now. It can be an old person, but either way, it still remains the same, right? So it's this ability to accept the fact, number one, that you're grieving, right? Give yourself permission to take your time with the grief process. So don't allow anybody or anything to rush you along with that. You know, you only knew him for a couple of months. It doesn't matter. That relationship might have triggered something deeper, which they, relationships usually do, trigger a deeper hurt in you. So, be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself, within it, and then also understand that it is a process, right? And that you don't want to get stuck in the place of grief. You want to acknowledge it, you want to embrace it without questioning it, and then you want to be able to release it, learn from it, and maybe apply it to other things, but release it in the way that you're not carrying it with you. It's not constantly on your mind. Whenever something happens, you're not constantly going back to that feeling and then needing to be defensive, right? Which leaves you closed off to being able to receive the highest energy of all, which is love. Okay? So now perception comes along, and this is very important in the forgiveness process because, like I said, it's difficult to forgive people that you think have power over you. There's too much resentment there for forgiveness to come into place, right? So when you change your perception from a heart-centered space, right? Because perception is usually third chakra, which is usually the purple cards. But perception is here in the heart chakra because really when you perceive things from a heart-based place, it tends to be more genuine and it tends to fill you up more, right? So when your perception changes and you see the things that you've gone through as lessons, you see the people that you've gone through it with as reflections, instead of enemies, you see the lessons that you've gone through as lessons instead of losses. When you start to perceive these things in different ways, when you look at heartache or heart break as a workout to make you stronger instead of a tool to break you down, right? When you see things that way, rebirth begins to happen. Flight begins to take place. Here she has an egg. You see the butterfly here. You see the trees. This is all life, right? Life begetting life in this card. And so then we come to wisdom, right? Because perception is one. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not even the next card that came out. I would like to do it the right way. I believe this was the next card that came out. And this is victim, right? And this story, I do have the book close to me, but I'm just going to kind of paraphrase the story a bit. The story is about two friends or whatever, something to the effect of friends. And basically, one has a whole basket of acorns, one has one big acorn. And so one is basically trying to trick the other throughout the whole thing. And so what the story is basically about is accountability. Even if you feel victimized in a situation, if you're honest with yourself, right, and you get below the layers, like I said, you'll be able to see where you are a volunteer and not a victim, and how you can turn that victim mentality into a victor mentality, right, going forward. And so then wisdom is the application of the things that you learn, because we can learn something, we can know something, we can take it in. But when it comes time to actually apply that, do we do it? So in your relationship, until the end of September, Aries, what we want to make sure is that as we heal and as we then recognize the things that we thought were losses in the past regarding love, that they're actually lessons, right? Do we take the information that we learned from them from those lessons, excuse me, and then apply it to the relationship that we're in now? If we've learned these lessons from the person that we're in a relationship now with, how have we applied those things so that we don't continue to make the same mistakes throughout our relationship, that we continue to have a positive vibration and continue to have growth, right? So all of these three cards here is really about the lesson and about learning, and this card here is about the application. Again, wisdom, that might be thought of as more of a crown chakra aspect, which is the gray cards. But coming from a heart center, that's knowing from your heart, right? That's knowing from your experiences. That's knowing from trial and error, and then using application to grow further. Okay, and the last card that we had for your advice is the soulmate card. This is root chakra, and this talks a lot about security. You see, the third eye is here twice, right? In the hand and in the forehead, and then it looks like he's growing himself out of his mind, right? And so I think that what this card is saying to us is the connection of yourself, right? Finally bringing your experiences, your personality, your desires, your needs, right? Your likes, your dislikes, all into one, right? From a very heart-centered space, and then grounding yourself in that, right? And understanding your own soul will then also grow your relationship, because then you'll understand why this particular soul resonates with you or doesn't resonate with you anymore. Even though the cards say to stay optimistic about your love life and give your relationship a chance, absolutely. I just don't know what transition you may be going through right now, and so I don't want to give people in a general reading this overall kind of advice to um put all this effort into a relationship that may not be for you. So as we heal and clean our heart space, right, is when we can really get in touch with our soul and what that means for us, and then what we're resonating with and what we're attracting to us, right? Because you're your first soulmate, or you're your most important soulmate at the end of the day. This is also a root chakra, like I said. So this is grounding and this is security. Okay? Alright. Let's do a Rebel deck card. I think what I might end up doing is switching over the video and doing separate for singles and couples, so that the videos are not so long. I'm posted this world card here, so definitely somebody might be pregnant too. So be careful. That's not something that you want. Oh, but this is for people in committed relationships, so that might be a good thing. Okay, final advice for Aries couples. Okay, it says, shit is going down with your job. You reevaluate, change your perspective, or fucking quit. And at the bottom of the deck is you need a big fucking hug. Squeeze. So because this is a love reading, obviously we're not going to take it as your job, right? From the beginning of the reading, we knew that there may be hard times right now, so that's why it's being advised for you to be optimistic and give your situation a chance. With all of these heart chakra cards right here, this is definitely a time for you to reevaluate, change, or and so this is why I said before the answer might be just to. I don't want to say the answer might be just to walk away from the situation, but if that's your situation, that's your situation. Like I said, it's general, and I don't want to push in anybody's head to push something that may be toxic for them. So I don't know your life, so you take it as you need it. But if it's something that you're going to work on, there is a need to reevaluate. Like I said, whether or not this is something that happened in this relationship or another relationship, it's a need for you to change your perspective so that you don't feel victimized. Because when you feel victimized, especially as an Aries, you're going to lash out. right? Because you feel out of control. You feel, how you want to say, you feel burdensome or overpowered, right? And for the Emperor, that's not going to work, right? So there may be a need for you to reevaluate your perspective instead of wanting things to change around you, just kind of being more positive and kind of using what you learned instead of resenting what you learned, if that makes sense. Okay. So I think how I'm going to do is let this be the romance. Hmm. Okay, now let's do it like this. Let's do Aries singles. We'll do both. Aries singles. I'm going to write so I can timestamp it. Okay, Aries singles. Aries singles. Alright. Okay, Aries singles from now to the end of September 2019. Aries singles. Okay. So you have pay attention to the red flags, the signs of cautioning you. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Okay, Aries. So if you're out in the dating world, I think anybody in the dating world should be paying attention to the red flags. Let your friends help you and flirt. Hmm. A lot of different things that could be said for this. So let's just clarify it more. If you have children, Aries, I feel like saying be careful about who you let around your children if you're dating. Okay, wise pay attention to the red flag here for Aries singles. Wise pay attention to the red flags here for Aries singles at the end of September 2019. Okay, pay attention to the red flags with quest and wisdom at the bottom of the deck. So I want to go to, because I wanted to look wisdom up before, and I was like, nah. Now I'm like, yeah. Okay, so For wisdom, it says, "This is the earth green, which brings wisdom, patience, and acceptance. Sage is perfect when you need to prove nothing. When you choose simply to be wise, there is an ability here to bring serenity to any situation, and indeed, it may be needed." Okay, and I just want to look at quest 2. I think I kind of already got where I want to go with it, or where it's going, rather. Quest combines the blue of communication with the darkness of the unknown, allowing us to discover the truth. There's bravery here and ability to face the truth head on. Okay, so basically, single Aries, from now until the end of September, um, keep keep shit light and pay attention, right, as you go along. Get advice from others. I feel like, well, let me see. Let your friends help you, because then gossip stuck out. So I don't know. Hold on. Why is let your friends help you here? Yeah, with balance. Okay. So be, yeah, with balance and mysticism. I thought so, with the gossip there. So just be careful how much outside opinions you take from now until the end of September 30th. I mean, the end of September anyway. If you're dating, keep things really light. Keep your eyes open. And be careful of codependent behavior, even though the codependency cards did not come out. Be careful of codependent behavior, of being too impulsive with starting something new. Pay attention to the signs, and kind of like just be detached from the outcome. So when you're going on a date with somebody, don't automatically start thinking about having their babies and doing this and doing that. Like, just be chill, take it slow, pay attention, take advice from others with this balance card here, but more accept what your own intuition tells you, because you're going to be right on. Okay, so Aries singles, let's get a verbal deck for advice. And think about what type of foundation that you're trying to build to. Like, you have the opportunity, you have a blank canvas, meeting new people and stuff. So you can, set out from the very beginning what it is that you're about to deal with, what it is that you ain't, what's a deal breaker, what's not. Build a strong foundation. If you see red flags, don't ignore them, and be careful of gossip. Okay. So what's advice for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus singles from now into the end of September 2019? Yeah. See, it says figure that shit out on your own. So even with, um, and at the bottom of the deck is, don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone, you need some fucking time alone, and you know why. So yeah, okay, with that balance, but let your friends help, definitely. I think this is a time for you to really pay attention, really trust your own intuition. And even with let your friends help you, that might be more of letting spirit help you than actual friends. Because like I said, seeing that gossip card at the sticking out of the deck, I just felt like you might have friends who, whether they mean harm or not, they may just be negative. They may not like the person that you're dealing with. They may have false information and think that they're telling you the right thing. So really pay attention to what you see, and what you take in. Trust yourself. Okay? Last, let's do our finances. can't wait until we get it back. You guys can see the shuffle. But okay. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Venus. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Finances and career. From now to the end of September 2019. Now to the end of September 2019. Finances. Finances. Okay, you got commitment at the bottom of the deck, number 9. Got magic prayer, the number 32, which is the number 5. You got movement, the number 28, which reduces down to the number 10. And listening, the number 53, reduced down to the number 8. So this looks pretty good, Aries. It looks like something that you may have wanted to happen as far as finances goes is going to come to pass. Um, okay, so here's the thing with this. With movement here, right? Number 10, that's endings and beginnings. Nothing new can begin unless something old ends, right? With magic prayer here, this is something that you've wanted, but with listening here with it too, and magic prayer being the number 5, I feel like there's going to come a time where you have to make the decision to break away from something. So, like, for instance, you need to be in tune with yourself. Okay, so for instance, there is a new employer in your town or whatever, and he's paying buku money, whatever. Um, and you let's say you're in the subway station and you're listening to your headphones, and you're listening to it, and it's just like something tells you, something say you take out your headphones. You see these people talking, and they talking all animated or whatever, and something like, take off your headphones, see what they talking about, right? You take off your headphones and you hear them, and they're talking about this job, a particular position is something that you've always wanted to do, and you're like, oh shit, like, oh, if I would have never took out my headphones, I wouldn't have heard that, And so you go and you apply, you go to the building, you apply for the job. And the day that they are holding open interviews, you have to work that day, right? So you have to make the decision to break your commitment at work in order to go for something better, right? And you're like, but damn, I don't really have a lot of sick days. I don't really have a lot of time. Like, what if I don't get it? And then I done took off a day of work, and then that looks bad. And so you're all in your head, and it's necessary for you to just chill the fuck out, basically, right? And listen to your intuition, just like you listened when something said take off those headphones. This is something that you really wanted and something that you want to go for. It may take some risk. It may take some change on your part. It's definitely going to take some breaking away from something else, because nothing new can come in. You don't need tarot cards to know that. Nothing new can come unless something old has ended. Um, and so this may take you breaking some commitments. This may take you having to take some type of risk. But there is movement, and it does seem to be something that you're going to be happy with, something that you've wanted. Right? So let's see. Let's clarify these cards. Most of my readings are probably going to be long because I don't like to rush, especially with it being a general reading. I was really thinking that I was going to get more messages than this. Seems pretty clear cut. 3 more shuffles. I just want to show y'all. Look, release. I don't know if you can see it through the glare. Release, growth. I'm telling y'all. Finance, and this is career and finances. So, shit, that's always a good thing. Okay. Wise magic prayer here. Okay. Magic prayer and quest. And this could be something with the quest card coming up here. This could be something that rejection at the bottom of the deck. That's what I was gonna say. This could be something that you felt like was unavailable to you before, or something that I don't want to say unavailable as much as I want to say something that you were searching for that ended up really like being right in front of your face the whole time. Like, to use the example that we were talking about before, maybe the job that you heard the people talking about on the train that's actually coming to your hometown is something that you've been looking up on the internet, and you've seen that they only offered training for this or positions for this particular job in China or whatever, and you were like trying to get yourself together to travel, to leave your family, leave everything that you know, and go all the way to China because you wanted to do this, and it turns out that it was right there the whole time. You know what I mean? Okay, wise movement here. Okay. So it may have been a stagnant time that you've been in up until now, or maybe September, the last weeks of September will be the ending of like that stagnant movement with recovery here. Also, I want to say request so bad, like with money situations, be careful not to jump into something just for the money. Like, be careful that you have some type of passion or some type of attachment to whatever it is that you're trying to create or join into, okay? Yeah, with complacency here, it may have been some time before movement was happening. Things might have been stagnant. Um, And they can also be telling you here that your complacency can stop your movement, right? Because, like I said, something has to end in order for it to begin. You have to be paying attention in order to increase your finances for the last 2 weeks of September, right? So, sitting in your shadow self, being in low vibration, being isolated, being difficult to deal um, with empath here, holding on to old hurts, old things that have not worked out, similar to what we were talking about in the relationship portion of your spread too. A lot of time relationships and finances marry or mirror each other anyway, right? So be careful of the vibration that you hold. It may be holding up your movement for this end of September as well. Wise listening here. Listening with impartiality and enlightenment at the bottom of the deck. So I would like to. Oh, wait, I know this story of impartiality with listening. Hmm. I'm going to look at it again because I do remember the story, but it's not hitting me how maybe this would tie into the reading, to be honest. So, okay, this is not a time to personally shine, but to allow others to come forth with their gifts. You may find yourself in the role of a neutral advisor. Hold the space for others to find their own answers. Advice may not be well received at this time. Be unbiased. So, Okay, and it's coming with the listening card. Okay, again, with this listening to your intuition, magic, prayer, and movement, like I said, needing to have your ears open and your mouth closed more than not, right? And with impartiality here, it's the same thing because it's saying this is not the time for you to shine, shine, shine. Don't be complacent and hinder your own movement, but also don't be in your own way. Right? I feel like there'll be information that comes to you that's going to increase your finances and even put you in a position that you've wanted to be in. Like I said before, dream job, dream financial status or anything like that, but it's going to take for you to take those headphones off, right? In the subway, it's going to take for you to know, when it's time to engage, when it's time to be quiet and listen, eavesdrop, when it's time to sit still in meditation and gain enlightenment that way, even, right? um Aries, like I said, you guys are the mom and pop of the zodiac, and so you take on a really a real leadership role, and sometimes impulsive, very bossy. I'm not coming for you, I'm just saying. But for the last 2 weeks of September, in order to see increase in your finances and abundance in your career sector, it is necessary for you to just chill out a bit. Don't be so domineering. Initiative, listen more than you speak. Okay. Okay, so let's get you an advice card from the Rebels app for your finances. 3 more shuffles. I'm sorry if y'all can hear that music, but we like that type of music. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Back to Aries. 3 shuffles. Three. Three. What advice do we have for Aries for finances and career from now until the end of September 2019? Okay, so I don't know what this has to do with anything. I really don't. You think someone is lying. They are. Okay. I don't know what that means. Maybe it'll resonate with someone. I'm hoping that with anything with finances and career that you think someone is trying to underhand you, undermine you. According to them, you're right. If that is the case, like I said, still with goes along with the rest of the reading as far as being quiet long enough to know for sure what is going on, right? If we jump too quick at it, we may end up accusing someone of something that they're actually not doing. And when money, career, and growth and abundance is involved in a situation, things get very touchy. So you want to be very careful. But again, trust your intuition, right? That's kind of been a theme for Aries throughout the readings anyway, to trust your intuition, to get in touch with yourself so that you can know the moves that you need to make or the answers that you need. And then the second card that came out was don't fucking force it. allow that shit to come to you. So I feel like that's definitely in alignment with the reading. Like I said, just make yourself open enough to know when to be at the right place at the right time, when to listen, when to speak, when to go here and hear this, when to pick up that book, when to pick up that phone. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's it, Aries. Let's pick one last card. These are, I think, these are the Amenti Oracle cards. I have not. Uh, I was trying to open up the box to see if the book was in here, but I guess I put it with my other books. I'll try to find it. But the Amenti Oracle cards is super beautiful. The artwork on it is so dope. And so even though I have not studied them, I'm just going to go ahead intuitively and just see what um, energy would you be able to harness for the rest of the month to make the month most beneficial for you in regards to love and finances and anything else. So what energy can Aries harness now into the end of September? Aries sun, moon, rising, and Venus in order to make the month or the end of the month most beneficial to them and for them regarding love and finances. What energy can Aries harness from now until the end of September of 2019 to give them the most benefit in their love, life, and their finances? Sure, you waiting for me to finish it to do something. You could do whatever you want. You don't gotta wait. We smoke, we listen to trap music. That's what we do. Not everybody in my whole life. Huh? I want to go back with my towel. Oh, you want to get inside? Something wrong with your throat? No, something wrong. Oh, they hear me talking to you now? Sorry, I'm professionally unprofessional most times. Okay, this is great, Aries. So listen, with that last card that we had too, you think someone is lying, they are. Even if it's you especially, don't be distracted with nobody's money. Because that shit could turn out really bad. Okay, at the bottom of the deck you have, I listen to opposing opinions. So again, even if it's somebody talking that you don't like, even if it's somebody talking that you really don't fancy too much, keep your ears open. Keep your ears open. That person may have a jewel, may have a direction for you that you have not thought of previously, something that you don't know. Just because you have a personal feeling about somebody, don't shut off the wisdom or the information that they may be able to bring into your life, okay? Especially when it comes to money. You don't dislike anybody that much to turn down information that they have about getting you into a position where you can have the life that you want. Okay? I live in truth. Again, connecting to your own intuition, trusting yourself, right? You can take advice from others and you're listening, especially with your finances. You're taking in everything. But, trust your intuition. Know when for yourself and accepting, right? So I think this goes more back into the love reading also. And even a finance reading, being accepting to information, being accepting of the reality of a situation and not just some victim perspective that we've come up with. Right? Yeah, that's a beautiful picture. I love that. And lastly, I consume only my fair share. Right? That's pretty dope. So don't take on more accountability or responsibility than you need to. Don't take more money than you're supposed to. Somebody's stealing. Right? Don't be anything more than what is needed. Right? Just let things kind of flow naturally. Pay attention to reciprocity on your part, right? Not paying attention to what people don't do for you. Pay attention to your part. What are you actually bringing, right? Is it residue? Is it old shit? Is it closed-mindedness in the realm of making money, right? Are you not open to learning, to progressing, to growing? That's a pretty picture, too. Super dope. That third eye, 3 point, yin and yang, being able to see both sides. Okay, I'm done. I can swim only one picture. And that is also heart chakra and solar plexus chakra. Root chakra, sacral chakra. Okay, everybody in here. Okay, Aries, so that is your reading for this bi-weekly for September 2019. I will see you guys again for the first 2 weeks of October. I hope you enjoy the reading. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section if this reading resonated with you and if you were able to find any help or guidance in it. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.